read normal. All right, good job. So we did our PA chest, lateral chest, and AP chest. Now we're gonna talk about oblique chest. So there's two different kinds of oblique. We have an AP oblique and we have a PA oblique. AP oblique, patient's gonna be facing the tube, but oblique, whichever way.
When would we do an oblique chest?
Why would you do an oblique chest? It's very rarely ordered.
Right.
I've never done an oblique chest in my career. 9 years, I've never done an oblique chest. But, you know, certain radiologists, they may look for something specific in the chest. If they have like a pathology or something that they're looking for, they may order it. But more than likely, you'll never do it. Only PA lateral.
Okay.
So let's do an AP oblique. Start out with the AP. So obliques are at a 45-degree angle. So somewhere in between a 0 and a 90, we get our 45, okay? So we can do an LPO oblique. Sometimes students get confused. What projection is this?
Projection, AP.
What
AP oblique.
position is this?
No, position is LPO.
LPO. His left posterior is touching the IR, so he's an LPO. And then bring your right shoulder touching the other way. What position is this?
RPO.
RPO, because right posterior is touching, but what projection is this?
Still AP.
Still AP, because beam is entering anterior, exiting posterior. So for the AP oblique, you can either choose to do RPO or LPO. I'll do RPO so that way y'all can see better. So 45 degrees, yep, it's halfway between 90 and 0. Thank you, Destiny. So if you notice, our right arm's running into the bucky here, right? So we want this raised. Put it on the bucky. I'm trying to think. The right one, actually just place it on your head. Yeah. The left one's actually gonna go up on your head.
Okay.
Yes, kind of like the sassy post. So the right one, actually it's the opposite.
See,
This one goes
like
on your head, the left one goes on your head.
Okay.
So the point is that you don't want this arm running into the bucky, so you want it raised up out of the way, okay? All right, so centering, still at the level of T7. For any chest, it's going to be T7. But what's gonna change is that vertical line is no longer going to be MSP or MCP. It's gonna be halfway between the two. So how do we find that? Lift your chin up. So we find his MSP, right? His MCP's here, right? So put your hands like this and then make a W. Wherever your thumbs meet, have the patient centered there. Does that make sense? So find his MSP, find his MCP, make a W wherever your thumbs meet. That's pretty good for a centering. And it's gonna be like through the invisible nipple line of the patient. Okay? Put this on your hips, like hold your hips. There you go. Now, we have to make sure he's in a good oblique. Right now, I see a lot of light in the front, but nothing back here, which means we have to adjust him. So I'm gonna bring him slightly forward. So a little bit of light here, and a little bit of light back here, if y'all wanna come see me. Okay? So make sure when your patient's in an oblique, don't be too forward, don't be too back, judging by the light on both sides. Okay? Try to be very still for me. Turn those feet pointing in the same direction. And this one too, yes, perfect. Okay? You want the chin up, out of the way of the lungs. So this is your RPO, AP oblique for the chest. Stop yawning. Okay. And where do you think we would put the marker?
On I would probably in the front because it's the most light.
Yes, you wanna put the marker for the side that's touching. So you would put the right marker. Make sense? And then breathing, the same. Deep breath in, blow it out, another deep breath in, and hold that breath. Okay, so that's your AP oblique for your chest. I'll show you how to do a PA oblique. Get in a PA for me, please. Yep. So pick whichever position you want me to do. RAO? Okay. So RAO, our right anterior, is gonna be closer to our bucky. Bring this right foot, turn it to the left just a little bit. There you go. I want it to be a good 45. And the arm that's running into the bucky, you want it kind of up. There you go. This one's gonna be on your hip. Good. How do we find the centering? Same technique. Find his MSP right here, his MCP, make a W, and then adjust the patient accordingly. Okay? Now I have to make sure to do what?
Have light.
There's. So now I have a little bit of light back here. What about the front?
A little bit above his shoulder, that's it.
That's it? Okay. I see some.
Okay. As long as it's a little light. So are we capturing the lungs there?
We are, yes. The lungs, we're twisting the thorax in a
So we
oblique.
get the lungs.
Mhm.
Okay. Would his arm be going this way? Since we're going like this, to get it? Or she said she's trying to flatten this so you could.
Yeah, it can be by his side.
I'm trying to picture the lungs, trying to see how.
I think I have a picture here. It's gonna look something like this.
Oh, it look like ribs. Ugh.
It is sort of ribs, but we're
Yeah.
chest technique.
I know.
All right?
I hate when the ribs, that's hard.
They're not that hard.
Your experience. Yeah, you see. I've done ribs.
As a student, I did hate ribs, to be honest. So this is your PA oblique of the chest, RAO position.
Okay.
Okay, all right, you can relax. Thank you for being so patient. Collimation stayed at 14%. Okay. All right, so we did our obliques, we did our AP, we did our PA, and we did our lateral. I believe, okay, so another thing left on the wall bucky for chest is the lordotic position. Did Mr. Donahue mention anything about the lordotic?
Yeah, but not the.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Gerald, if you would be so kind. He's like, I didn't sign up for this. So for the lordotic, you want to start off with the top of the light field. What I mean by the top of the light field is the top of the light field right here. You want to start off at the level of his shoulder, okay? And I'm gonna adjust my bucky. All right, so we're at the shoulder. Now what you're gonna do is place your back on the board, good. You're gonna kind of put your foot about 6 to 8 inches in front of the patient and have the patient shuffle their feet forward. So keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming till you stop, good. Is that comfortable for you?
Yeah, it's like it's fine if I lean on it.
Okay, yes, you have to lean the patient on the bucky. So it's gonna be like that lordotic curve to your spine, okay? And then we're gonna center the patient MSP. And centering should go through the level of the armpit. You see that?
Yeah.
Arms on your hip. We're gonna bring it forward, kind of like chicken wings. Bring that, yes. And then try to puff out that chest at the same time. Yeah, so that's your lordotic chest. Weird very weird positioning. Breathing stays the same, collimation, everything stays the same. Okay, and you can use your right marker or left marker, whichever you choose. So you want that curve on the lower back, but the upper back is gonna be touching the bucky. You can relax, Cheryl, thank you.
Almost like he's numbering.
But I don't want you to tell your patient, okay, step forward and lean back. Don't do that. You don't want the patient falling. Start off with their back touching and then shuffle their feet forward. And then have them puff out their chest, arms forward. Okay? If I see you yawn one more time.
I didn't yawn. My allergies. Every morning my allergies are messed up. My allergies. That one was
expensive.
yeah, that one I didn't yawn. I want to sneeze so bad.
Take some Zyrtec or something.
I take,
Or drink some tea in the morning. You don't like tea?
but I take my medicine every morning, once at night, and I take it again in the morning, and still. It's when I go from different environments, it's
Oh.
yeah, from the house to outside,
Okay.
never fails.
So that was all of the positions for the chest on the wall button. We do have one more chest on the table, but we'll get to that at the very end. The only thing that's left right now is your upper airway. What do you think we're x-raying with the upper airway? Trachea, that's right. Does anyone else want to be the patient? Destiny?
Yeah, I go ahead.
Okay, so for the upper airway, we have two positions, AP and lateral. So we'll do the AP first. So let's see. It stays at 72, but our collimation is gonna be 10 by 12, so we can start off that way. Oh,
Hey, can you record something?
Yeah, I got my,
Okay, your
I ran out of
for-
space. So I asked Christina to take over for me.
So AP airway, SID still at 72, but what changed?
The, collimation.
Yes, so it's gonna be 10 by 12, smaller because our neck
It's not small.
a lot smaller, right? So we can start off with 10 by 12. All right, to find the centering for our neck, we are going to find the patient's jugular notch. Okay, point your jugular notch for me. And we're gonna go right there, the little space, yes. Yeah, hold it right there. So we're gonna center about an inch above the jugular notch. You can close your eyes because it's gonna be bright. So wherever her finger is, I wanna go up an inch. Okay? And then of course, since I moved my tube, I'm gonna come here and move my bucky. Okay. So we're centered MSP and 1 inch above the jugular notch, okay? All right. Now, you don't want the top of the light field to include your EAM. See how it's barely stopping at the ear? You don't want it to include that ear hole. So how she has it is pretty good. We can definitely collimate side to side because her neck is not that big. So we only want an inch of light on both sides.
And which one, what is this position called?
AP upper airway.
Okay.
Putting the left marker on the left side of the patient. Or people that may have something stuck in their throat. Could be different reasons. Okay? Good. Now, for the airway, the breathing is slightly different. It's going to be x-ray during slow, deep inspiration. So Destiny, take a very slow, deep breath in. X-ray, you can breathe. So while the patient is breathing in, you want to make that exposure. Okay?
That's for everyone.
No, the chest, you're actually
Wait
holding
until
that
you-
breath.
Yeah, that's right.
For
But
this
for this
one,
one, you have to release.
while they're
Oh,
breathing
while they're
in,
breathing.
you're making that exposure.
So this is
'Cause
the
you-
only one that's wild.
But yes, because you want that trachea filled with air.
Okay.
So while that air is going in, you want to make that exposure. It's not like the chest where take a deep breath in, hold it. There's no holding. It's continuous. Make sense?
Yes.
So that's your AP upper airway. I'll show you how to do the lateral. So stand with your left shoulder against the board. For the lateral, it's some slight difference. Centering is going to be kind of at the level of C7, like that bony prominence back here. So, don't look for me. I'm gonna bring it up to that level, to C7, and you may notice it's kind of going through her neck at the level of where somebody's Adam's apple would be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then for this one, the top of the light field, you want it to be slightly, right there, to include that EAM. See that? Okay. I'm gonna raise my Bucky to match my CR. And then, so we're already at the level of C6, or in the front where the Adam's apple would be. What about the vertical line? How do we find the MCP? So if you feel behind the patient's ear, there's a bony little point you can feel on yourselves called the mastoid tip, right behind the ear. You feel that? So that's where you want to put that vertical line. So right there, yep. Vertical line has to touch that, okay? So, let me center her so we have, good, right there. All I need to do now is put my marker in the light field.
So we don't worry about the OID on this one then?
No, cause our shoulder's gonna be hitting that Bucky.
Okay.
All right, take a slow, deep breath in. X-ray, you can breathe. That's your lateral upper airway. Any questions so far?
You good? I got it right before you turn. Lateral.
Careful, don't trip. What's the time right now?
9:06.
9:06, okay. We have time. I'm a fast talker anyway.